I go, that's not enough for me. I can't just be known by my friends and family as being funny. I'm the guy that needs to stand on the table and go, everybody in here needs to know I'm funny. And not only that, I think I should get paid for this, goddammit. I'm so obsessed with making sure to monetize my need for attention. And you guys will have to say, follow your dreams, even though half of you are funnier than me naturally. You're just pussies in front of audiences.
That's right.
I guess I just have such a sociopathic need for everyone's validation and attention that I will endure
the
pain of bombing just to make a few jokes that aren't even the best jokes in the world.
That's right.
You know, we've talked an awful lot about a lot of moods and their reflections in terms of music. But now we come to a mood that is the product of our present generation.
You got to give yourself a little credit, right? Because before there was ever anything, like, people were just funny. You know what I mean? Like, before we had TVs and Instagrams and all that other shit, like, motherfuckers was just, like, in 1908, there was somebody in town that everybody knew was fucking funny.
Right.
And, like, that's all they ever got, because they weren't leaving, Fort Hays, Kansas or whatever. Like, you were the dude. Like, oh, Tom? Man, Tom's a funny guy. You gotta go over to Tom's house and he'll tell you. And Tom, like, probably had 5 real good, like, joke punchlines too. But because, like, he just could always go back to the well if ever he got ran out of shit. Like, always go back to the well. Bam, bam,
The old hits.
Bam. The old hits.
We're gonna do the act.
You were performing for what? Maybe 50 people that they don't see anything. I don't think black and white television. They were still listening to Little Fucking Orphan Annie on the radio.
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us.
That's the part that I can't reconcile sometimes. I'm like, aren't we just fucking morons? Like, that was like the whole pandemic was me meditating on whether I think that what I do as a comedian or as an artist has any value to anyone, period.
Are you guys lost like I am?
Other than to my own needs, like my own selfish, narcissistic needs.
Hopefully it'll be to the point where I can't walk out in the street. Won't that be fun?
What am I doing with it? Am I doing anything that, like, gives people clarity or relief or anything like that? And it was a big shift where I was like, that's why I'm going for my master in social work, because I'm like, I need to do something. And I'll use comedy as a tool. It's a great tool.
Right.
Storytelling is a very key tool to like the culture in general. But like, I can't just justify doing stand-up for the joke's sake.
I'm Jeff McKinnon, comedian, writer, actor, and guy voted in high school most likely to be tased.
It has to have some nutrition in there, or I feel like a fucking idiot.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you think that way.
Thank you.
That's very good. That's a good way to be.
Revelation, Kyle.
I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
I introduced Kelsey to the Fire Festival documentaries because she had never seen or heard of it.
Fire Festival was supposed to be the new Coachella, the new Burning Man.
Exclusivity with access to premier talent.
I remember watching it thinking, like, somehow, some way I have to play Billy McFarland in some way. Like, if I was to put on like 20 pounds-ish in the face, I could definitely be that guy.
You could totally be Billy McFarland.
Whatever it takes, we are all in, and let's go and make this happen.
There's not a close physical resemblance, but it doesn't matter if me and you write a script that's sort of like Big Short style about Fire Festival, but we don't do it the way that, like, we're not just writing, the whole narrative the way that you would, just showing all parts of it. We focus only, every scene has Billy and Ja Rule in it. And you're Ja Rule, and I'm Billy. I don't know if you can do the voice.
I'll figure it out.
You'll have to work on it. You'll do years of, immersive character study.
I'll get my vocal coach ready.
Girl, you're still
there's a scene of them on the beach
Yeah.
where like it's just so hilarious to see these two hustlers of different styles.
Me and Billy are gonna change the way people look at a young tech entrepreneur and a hip hop mogul.
And he's just like on this beach thinking like, we just figured it out and I'm with some fucking slick street white dude. And he's like, this dude's gonna take me to the next level.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this dude is full of shit. You don't know what you're doing.
And this is the fascinating thing. Like you remember the Dame Dash days, right?
Yeah.
Where it would be like like Dame would be in the front in his fucking like his fur hat and, you know, his leather jacket or whatever. Be Dame in the front talking all this shit. Memphis Bleak would be right over Dame's shoulder, just talking so much shit. And they have the iconic photograph. It exists. And then there's just Jay in a white tee, just looking off to the side with the rest of the crew behind him. I don't even remember who the fucking Loon and whoever the fuck those other rappers were that were always there. Yeah. And just Jay is looking off to the side like, I cannot believe that I have to sit around and listen to these idiots talk.
It's live, we the champions, you heard
Michael
it.
Jackson.
We live.
King of rap, the king of pop, holla.
Turned out crazy, Biggie bet 20,000.
It's the Rock, you bastards.
As always, you heard? Holla.
Even though Dame was a real hustler, right? Dame was a dude who could turn a piece of concrete into a piece of gold. He didn't know what to do once it was gold. Like once he had the gold in his hand, he had no idea what to do with it, but he could turn a piece of concrete into a piece of gold. And a person like Ja Rule, the hilarious part about that is a person like Ja Rule was always the dude looking at those dudes thinking, how do they get like that? Like he wasn't even Memphis Bleak. Like he wasn't even Memphis Bleak like riding a coattail. He was always looking in on a crew or an executive situation thinking, how can I get that?
So what did you do before you did this?
Before I was into the rap game, I was into the drug game. Like every other rapper that ever picked up a mic.
And the problem was, for a guy like Ja Rule, is I think what probably happened in his brain is he had enough meetings where he saw enough white guys talking enough bullshit where he started to think in his head, oh, so the person who calls the shot is the like A&R guy who then takes this music up the chain. That's the person who I got to get in with. Yeah. Meanwhile, that is incorrect, man. That is incorrect. That is the worst person. That's the dude who picks the wrong track to use a single. The assistant A&R is
Ja, this is hot, Ja. This is very hot. Let's get this one on now.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it right now.
I don't know, man. She want me to leave this street life alone. Guess that's what I'm gonna do.
You got lucky, my man. Nobody liked you. You were on a fucking track with J-Lo. You were on a fucking track with Ashanti. Nobody likes you, man.
This music shit is a savior to a lot of young black, you know what I mean?
So he just takes that, like, the idea that it doesn't matter if you're just like fronting perception that you are something bigger than you are, or that you are more like significant an artist than you actually are.
That's not fraud. That is, I would call that false advertising.
And then he applied that to this idea of booking and then creating a festival to get attention for a booking app. And it's like, bro, you don't have there's no infrastructure. This is a fucking empty box. And you guys just think like, but yo, it's about selling the idea of the box and what could be inside of it.
Billy understood what millennials as a generation want.
What Fire Festival did prove is that power of influence is real.
I at one point felt like I understood him, like that I understood him from being a big picture guy and feeling like, all right, I get the idea that what he was going for, you know, I mean, he takes big risks, okay. Frankly, if Fire Festival happened in any form, like if it was even remotely okay, like he would be a legend. Like people would be like, wow, look at that. I mean, that was bold. Down to the last day, like you didn't even have Blink-182 paid, and yet like you got the whole
You pulled
thing,
it off.
right? I mean, like there are a few factors that were a little out of his control, but I guess, you know, people that actually have experience, they anticipate these things and they have protocols in place to try and mitigate that. not just have people show up and live in a FEMA tent.
Epic failure, stranded thousands of guests in waterlogged tents.
To some extent, I'm like, I like will defend his balls, you know, to like try and take a big leap and land on the other side. He didn't, but it is the fact that he lied his way there. Like, not even misrepresent. Fucking flat out lied.
Oh, that's the
Scam people, bullshitted people. He never had respect for the people who he was taking money from. He never had respect for the people he was selling to. Like, he was just a trash piece of shit who was just out for his own.
Some people have called you a sociopath. How do you respond to that?
How else would it be during this era of self-indulgence, you know, sounding like Osip now, like this era of self-indulgent, I have to get my brand because my brand is the brand that matters most, right? In his head, he's thinking like, yeah, I'm David Guetta, right? I'm Diplo, right? I create this thing that all these soul-sucking Instagram and hype beast people need. They need me. But again, what poor Billy forgot is like David Guetta is also like a wildly talented DJ and music creator.
Right.
And Diplo, no one even knew who Diplo was the first decade that he was making music. And then he nailed a couple of hits with Major Lazer, and he earned what it is that he gets to show up to a place and just point at people and say, you make this, you make this, you make this, you make this. Billy, you didn't actually earn what it was. You are like an Instagram influencer pushing fit tea, right? You haven't actually done anything. You didn't study anything, right? You just trying to hustle. And the problem is when you hustle too big, you get got.
Right. You're like the dude who's not cool, who threw a party expecting that would make you cool. But
that's right.
You're still not cool.
You're still not cool.
We'll fucking party in this mansion. We'll probably destroy it. And at the end of the day, you'll clean up. You'll apologize to your parents. And you'll still not be cool.
You'll still won't be. That should be the start of it of the movie. It should be a high school party that he tries to throw. That he throws, and that's what happens. That's like the opening of the introduction of that character.
And then you cut to like when he's running that membership service in New York.
Magnesis is the concierge platform that connects millennials with new people, products, and services.
Basically the same thing, where it's just like a bunch of uncool douchebags with too much money are like, hey, if we all pay into this club exclusive experience, like the word exclusive is their favorite thing, so that they can all just like drink shitty cocktails in their stupid suits in like a weirdly lit penthouse.
Cardholders actually link up their real debit and credit card and use your Magnesis card every day for regular purchases.
The shot of Billy on a jet ski driven by an Instagram supermodel, you know, selfieing himself and like putting on like I'm like, that is it right there. Yeah. It is that you are not actually living the life of somebody who rides on jet skis driven by supermodels, as if that's even fun anyways. Jet skis suck and supermodels suck even worse. Like they wouldn't even know how to drive it well. It would be so uncomfortable. I'd be like, stop, this is over. But that you are enjoying the fact that people might watch you doing the thing that you're doing that you don't enjoy. That's what you get joy out of? The idea that people perceive you as a thing?
Right.
Like, what a fucking hollow existence.
Oh,
The influencer culture of just like, I'm gonna flex and you're gonna think I'm the person that earned this ability to flex, and somehow that's my substance. It's another house of cards. Like eventually you're not gonna have anything to deliver on when you've got everyone's attention.
Yep.
And then we're just like, why are
we here? Right. Why are we here? What is
happening now? Rights to your story. I'm going to tell the unauthorized buffoonery that you did, and I'm gonna make sure that I drop it. Hopefully we get this movie released the day you get out of jail.